When people hear that I homeschool, the first thing I often hear is, oh, I could never do that. I just don't have the patience. In fact, I just had someone say that to me recently after meeting them at a bridal shower. And in my head, I was thinking, you have no idea how impatient I can be some days. But here's the truth: homeschooling isn't about having it all together or being naturally patient. It's about saying yes to God's call and trusting Him to give you what you need as you go. I can't tell you how many times I've prayed for patience mid math lesson and felt God's grace calm my heart in that very moment. Because God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the called. If we haven't met yet, welcome. I'm Christy, a Catholic homeschool mom of four. And in today's video, I want to share what Catholic moms are really doing when we homeschool. Beyond the lesson plans, beyond the books, beyond what the world sees. Because homeschooling is so much more than education at home. It's a calling, a living out of our vocations as mothers in one of the most intentional, grace-filled ways possible. Now, the world often sees homeschooling as something purely academic. They picture long days at the kitchen table, kids in pajamas, mom teaching math while stirring dinner. Or they might see it as isolating, something different, maybe even a little strange. And like I said earlier, they often say, oh, I could never do that. I don't have the patience. But here's the thing: patience isn't something we bring to homeschooling. It's something God grows in us through homeschooling. There are moments when you're explaining long division for the fifth time, when the toddler spills a cup of juice all over the workbook, when someone's crying, might be you, and somehow grace shows up. In those moments, you realize God doesn't expect perfection. He's using this calling to shape your heart as much as your children's. What's really happening in Catholic homeschool homes is something holy. It's not just education, it's formation. You're forming souls. You're teaching your children to see the world through the eyes of faith. You're helping them recognize God's presence in the ordinary, in morning prayers, in nature walks, in read aloud time snuggled on the couch. One of my favorite parts of homeschooling this year has been watching my youngest son set out our candles and rosaries each day before we begin our morning basket. These are the moments that remind me what this is really all about. Homeschooling gives your family time and space to live liturgically, to slow down during Advent, to celebrate feast days, to weave faith naturally into your daily rhythm. It's this beautiful blending of the sacred and the ordinary. Math and mercy, laundry and liturgy, faith and family life, all woven together. When we homeschool, we're not just teaching academics, we're living our vocation. We're saying yes to being the primary educators of our children, not just in knowledge and faith, not just in knowledge, but in faith and virtue as well. When I first said yes to homeschooling, I was terrified. I didn't feel ready, and I definitely didn't feel holy enough. But over time, I've seen that God meets us right there in our weakness and teaches us how to mother through grace. And that yes, even when it's hard, even when it's messy, is one of the most powerful ways we can serve God in our motherhood. Because homeschooling isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about doing everything with Him. It's about letting God sanctify the ordinary moment by moment. So if you're in the thick of it right now, if your homeschool days feel chaotic, or you're wondering if you're really doing enough, remember this: every time you choose connection over perfection, every time you bring peace into your home instead of pressure, every time you pray before starting your lessons, you're building something eternal. Just last week, when we were looking over a painting of a shepherd with his sheep during an artist study, my 9-year-old told me, "This picture reminds me of the Bible story about the shepherd with 100 sheep, and he loses one and goes off to find him." The feelings I had at that moment. That's when I think, this is why we homeschool. Maybe you've had a moment like that too. One of those quiet reminders that whisper, this is why we homeschool. I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. You're creating a home where faith and learning grow together, and that's a powerful witness to the world. If this message spoke to your heart today, I'd love to help you bring more peace and purpose to your homeschool days. I've created a free guide called Sanctifying Your Homeschool, a gentle week of Catholic family style learning. It's designed to help you slow down, pray together, and live out your faith through your homeschool rhythm. You can grab your free copy by using the link below. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with another Catholic mom who could really use some encouragement today. Because what we're really doing when we homeschool is answering God's call, and that's the most beautiful work of all. Thanks for watching, and happy homeschooling.